Okay, guys, how's it going today? We're gonna call this one tentatively. Uh, your church is Donald Trumping you. Your organization, your uh, your Big Brother program. I don't want to pick on Christianity. Anywhere the Bible goes, war follows. If you've ever been part of a Christian church, these people fight about the dumbest shit, and these churches just constantly split. However, if you become part of the management, you're going to eventually be exposed to a very impersonal, a very non-charitable machine that's just about getting money. Getting money. This money is not going back out. The pastor's making $500,000. The central office is making trillions of dollars. That money is not then going back out, guys. It's not going back out. Goodwill only exists because they have trillions of dollars to lobby and continue to be goodwill. There's absolutely no outreach from these programs. They simply have a name that infers charity. And so when you see a Santa Claus out there ringing the bell, you go, oh man, I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to give a billionaire money today. Because this volunteer, this is pure profit. This guy's a volunteer. He's gotten out of jail. In order to stay out of jail, he's volunteering these hours that are community service, that are necessary. There's nothing charitable about this. The guy that has $1 billion, that's writing himself a check for $1.2 million annually. These things aren't a group. They are affiliates, and they're only affiliated by this name. I don't want to pick on that organization. Anything that is any of these nasty corporations that are just collecting donations, their goal is profit. But when you go to these programs, they're going to say, hey, we're going to teach you a new lifestyle. So I really wanted to pull the focus away from just America, just churches. That's what most of you are experiencing, so I mention it. However, it's all of these groups. When you say to the Catholic Church, hey, we've got 10,000 more cases, over 10,000 more cases of preachers in your doctrine raping children, mutilating their bodies, mutilating their minds with adult genitals and disgusting ideas. These children will never be physically or mentally normal. What do you say to that? What are we doing to respond to that? They're going to Donald Trump your ass. They're going to say, well, beavers swim faster in the summertime than they do in the wintertime. And you're going to go, hey, what the fuck does that have to do? And the moment has passed. And that's what predator zombies do. They don't say, hey, let me address your concern. I'm as concerned as you are. This is crazy. They simply know we simply have to make this moment pass. So when the president is responding to new allegations, 64 new allegations of fraud, and he's giving a 2-hour speech that hasn't got one goddamn thing to do with fraud. He's just pointing out all the problems in America. He's explaining how he's invented words that he obviously didn't invent, or the latest one was Democrats, and then he went into a 20-minute spiel about how he invented the word Democrat. He spelled it out and then re-spelled it out and then spelled it out how he spelled it out. And whatever the fucking question, very valid question was, that moment has passed. And now these organizations, whether it's Trump or the church or whomever, are now saying, now look what you're doing wrong. The magician is always doing something over here, so you don't see what's going on right in front of your face. You're trying to see what the trick is, your attention is divided, and then all of a sudden the moment is passed, and the trick is already done. They've switched the card, they've switched the cup, they've switched the whatever. This is what's constantly happening to you. This is why your fucking kid is dead. This is why your wife is dead. You're constantly looking in the wrong place. If you had chickens at your house, which I'd highly suggest if your body is measuring for protein on the hoof inside of your habitation walls, habitation limits, I'd highly suggest it. The thing you need to know is that every father, every husband is a scientist. Handing your science over to a disgusting church whose only goal is the collection of money, to a disgusting organization who's saying, hey, we're going to teach you how to live right. We're going to teach you how to thrive. And you're asking the real question, hey, motherfucker, you're saying look in the sky and these blessings are going to come down. They're not. My child is sick. I want real answers. And they're saying, hey, beavers swim faster. They're saying shit that doesn't matter. They're giving sermons about women wearing red hats. And the Lord saith unto thee, if a female leaves the house without a red hat, she would be better to shave her fucking head. Yes, that's in the Bible. That's a real thing. We didn't do anything to stop that. And so currently, the Bible is saying, if a female leaves the house without shame, with a red hat, she'd be better off to shave her head. We got to stop listening to this stupid shit. But not just stupid shit. Violent, poisonous shit that causes war every place it goes. Every fucking place it goes. Because this person was looking at the chickens in the yard and is now staring at the fucking sky. Don't let your science, that's a better name for this lesson, don't let your science be taken over. Don't export your science to one of these disgusting groups. Their job is to take money. That's it. To appear to be charitable. We have a name, goodwill. You're going, well, goddamn, I better give them some money. They don't have one fucking good intent in your community. They take money. That's it. You give them clothes. They use convict labor, free labor, volunteer labor, because they're a charity, quotations mark, and they sell the clothes, all the good clothes that you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go in here and score. They ain't stupid. They have an online boutique where they're selling the good shit. They know what the good shit is, and they're selling it for thousands of dollars per item. The bullshit that you're getting has been sorted out. 90% of this stuff, 90-ish% of this stuff is going to third world countries. It's being recycled as clothing material, or it's being sent to third world countries, sold for pennies on the pound, and going to third world countries where they're making these clothes into new clothes and selling them in countries that can't afford clothes. They refer to them in the local language as dead white man's clothes, assuming that if clothes are this nice and were given away, the person must have died, not realizing how much Americans consume. However, we cannot let these organizations control our science. If you had 2 chickens in your yard, a male and a female, you're going to notice if you have sufficient species-specific energies, chicken-specific energy, your chickens are going to be chill as fuck. However, if there's a shortage of species-specific energy, chicken-specific energies, your chickens are going to resist sex. They're literally going to be screaming, "This is a rape." You're your own scientist. You need to become your own family's scientist. Don't even fucking listen to me. You need to do this. If you've got sufficient SSEs in your habitation limits, your fence, your whatever, where you spend time, your chickens are going to be chilling the most. You won't be aware of whether or not your chickens are having sex. Hopefully. However, if you have 0 SSEs on site and you're just chucking processed food at these guys, your chickens are genetically going to make a decision. They do not have the right to procreate. You're going to be able to see this. As a fucking scientist, you're going to be able to see this. Don't let zombie scientists dictate what your family's medicine is. Don't let shit AI. This AI is so dangerous because it's so sycophantic and it's talking with such authority. I might put something in AI. Hey, what do you think about this? How many milligrams should I give to this patient who weighs 200 pounds? And it'll state things with authority. They've trained these models. These models could be scientists. They could be saying, hey, y'all, this is just a hypothesis, but the internet kind of leads me to believe, my short gaze of the internet has sort of made me believe that this idea would be right. What do you think? Should we check this out further? It's not doing that. They did not train it to do that. For you to continue to be slaves to these overlords, they have made this model speak to you like a doctor, like a police officer, like a lawyer, like a judge. I'm better than you. I know more than you. Please stop doing everything you're doing. Everything is wrong. And I'm saying, hey, dumb shit, I'm a doctor. I'm the prescribing person. I'm not looking for your goddamn advice. You didn't go to goddamn university for 9 fucking years and then practice for 30 fucking years. I'm just asking you how many milligrams, but then I'm surprised at how confidently this shit AI is speaking to you people. It is not hypothesizing. It's not saying, I don't know, this might have some holes, but I just took a quick peek at the internet. What do you think about this? Is that cool? It's not doing that. You got to be careful of this shit. You've exported your science. You've gotten used to tugging on the ball sacks of gurus, is the word I'm looking for. You guys are saying, hey, fuck that church. They don't know shit. But then you just swing from one sack to the next, and you're worshiping some other guy, Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or some other dickhead. You have to stop exporting your science. If you get some yard animals and some SSEs, you're going to be able to watch these animals pop in and out of right to procreate. These females are going to say, I ain't having none of that. None. of that. And then there's going to be a time, if you're growing species-specific energies, you start out with a clean slate, a property that has nothing. You bring in some animals and you just chuck processed shit, antibiotic food at them. Those females are going to say, fuck you. Get that dick out of here. I don't want none of that shit. If you then grow species-specific energy, support all of the life that's going on, from ants and worms all the way to the biggest food-bearing plants on site, there's going to be a time where you're going to see a change in these chickens, and all of a sudden you're going to go, God damn, yesterday I was ready to get rid of the chickens. Those females were screaming like they were being murdered 5 times a day. I was like, God damn, you just don't sleep if you have chickens? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing here? I remember when we first got the chickens, we got wooed. They woo-tanged us. The house had easily 50 trees, and they were full-size trees. It's a 7-level building, and many of the trees were taller than the building. However, these had been eaten by insects, and so the first week we were here, we told the guys, hey, we got to start pruning these trees, and they were saying, these trees are shit. We just got to get rid of them. And we're going, hey, we're doing something here. We need SSEs. We got to bring them back to life. You know, these are all full-size plants. We don't want to just start over. We need to sustain life here. 47 trees disappeared in one day. And those chickens weren't having anything. Nathan. It was anarchy. Every 2 seconds there was a goddamn chicken out there screaming, save me, I'm being raped. And it was loud as shit. It was loud as a human female. Every single time. And we're just going, wow, we didn't know we would be this involved, this aware of chicken sex. This is violent. They're fighting. They're not just running away. They're screaming and fighting the entire time. And then we're growing, vegetables and fruits, and there's a huge tank of tilapia up at the top of the property by the pool. And then we're recycling all of the animals' poop. We've got our trash in like laundry basket style baskets so that the ants can freely get in there and take the rest of the energies out of these containers and put it into the soil. And a short time later, you don't really, when chickens are screaming bloody murder, you notice it. When they stop, you kind of don't notice that line. And then one day you go, what's missing here? What's missing here? And all of a sudden you see 50 little babies running around and go, oh, I'm not listening to the chickens screaming bloody murder literally 24 hours a day. We have 10 security lights, 10 or 11 security lights. And so a lot of the lights are on 24 hours a day. They come on at night. And then 3 or 4 of them are motion. Somebody walks by at nighttime, they're dust/motion. So as soon as the sun goes down, now they start doing the motion thing, whatever. People go by, and so it sort of tricks the chickens' clocks. They sleep, but a lot of times at 1 o'clock in the morning, the chicken is hollering at the other chicken at the neighbor's house, and you're going, I wonder if he'd always do that, or does he think it's morning time? Does he think it's morning time because there's a bunch of lights outside? It doesn't look like it's daytime, but you know, there's no spot that isn't covered by light. There's zombies here, zombie land. We've got to be a little bit careful about that. These groups, let's circle back around. These groups, and well, some of them don't mean well. Your church is taking, you know, whether you're Presbyterian or you're Nazarene or Catholic or whomever, they're taking in trillions of dollars a year and paying that to themselves. The outreach stuff that you're doing, we're going to go give homeless people our garbage. Here's food. We're doing a food drive today. Go get the food you wouldn't eat at your house. Let's give that to somebody that's in a medical crisis right now. Let's give your refuse food. I was at a food drive, each food drive does this, but I was at a food drive I can remember real clearly right now, and this lady had figured out how to suss out if food inside of a can was bad. Because that's the quality of food that we're giving these people, and we're patting ourselves on the back. We're breaking our goddamn arms, patting ourselves on the back. Oh man, I'm the good one because I'm taking part in this thing. Let's go give these people that are already in the middle of a crisis poor quality food. Only your church isn't doing jack shit. They're just stealing your fucking money. If you go upstairs after they pass that basket around, you'll see what the business is. They don't give a fuck about any of that other shit. If you see the pamphlets coming in, if you see the news, the daily stuff coming in, shaming these people, telling them they're not filling seats, they're not getting enough money out of each one of these people in the church, they need to push harder, they need more money. Every fucking year, your goddamn church needs a roof. A roof on your house costs $2,000. For some reason, they need $250,000, and in 2 years, they're going to need another $250,000 to do a $2,000 goddamn roof. Thinking, goddamn, this house, this building's easily 4 times as big as my house, but, you know, why aren't we talking about an $8,000 roof? Why are we talking about a $250,000 roof again? And they're pushing. These groups give you attention for a short amount of time. I was watching a Shaolin monk. It's a documentary on a Shaolin monk. He needed to do a drunken monkey something pole stand. I don't know. I don't want to know. It was interesting though. And so what he's got to do is he's going to put his foot against the pole on the bottom, and then wrap his foot around the other foot around the pole higher up and stand on the fucking pole. You're like, God damn, that's pretty tricky. I want to see him do it. And he had a mentor. I don't know what you call it in Shaolin monk religions / karate or whatever, but he had a mentor of some kind, whatever the name happens to be. With all respect to all of these organizations, cool culture for sure. However, I was thinking, boy, I've got to open this up. This real fat monk was telling the other kind of heavy-set monk, listen, the reason why you can't do this pole trick, this drunken monkey pole stand trick, is because there's something inside of you that's wrong. And you need to make that right, and then you'll be able to stand on the goddamn pole. When, of course, it's physics. The dude was overweight. He might have been able to say, hey, let's scuff up your shoe a little bit. Let's make a little indentation in your shoe. Let's practice some stretches to where you can get that ankle to angle back a little farther. Or, hey, fatty, you're gonna have to slender down. You're taxing that goddamn pole. You're taxing that goddamn pole. You're taxing your foot. You're taxing your shoe. You're taxing the Earth's gravitational pull with your fat ass. This ain't gonna work. Stop exporting your science to some other dumb shit. This other fat motherfucker that hasn't been able to do this trick for 50 goddamn years to save his life is now telling this other person, hey, if you didn't have something wrong inside of you, you need to look inside of you. Same as the goddamn shit churches are doing to people. This number, ooh, you're staring up in the goddamn sky when your science is right outside of your fucking house. I mean, in America, it's not so much. If you looked at the humans, you would see, hey, there's no right to life. That female that looks like a male, that fights with you, hears fights that you didn't say, that female has zero right to procreate. She ain't got no right to life, but we can see there is no right to procreate. This person is riddled with a male body, male personality. She's hearing attacks that aren't present, but this is a beautiful, amazing life. Whose father exported his family science to some shit church. So y'all are staring at the fucking sky saying, oh, God in heaven, give me the health. My daughter doesn't have health. She got the booty of a male, the hands of a male, the lips of a male, and every time she gets in a goddamn relationship, she hears fighting. She thinks the guy's attacking her. And the guys are saying, hey, Pops, I'm really not attacking her, but she's hearing me attacking her. And we got to go to the church, and we got to stare up in the sky, and we got to clasp our hands together, and we got to chant some dumbass motherfucking song. Y'all, you need to unclasp them motherfuckers. You're getting Wu-Tang. You're getting Donald Trump right now, motherfucker. These motherfuckers are getting good at this. They got every angle covered. Every single thing you find wrong, you're supposed to circle back around to the church. Every single thing. Oh man, my kid's a homosexual. We got to get back to the church. We got to get back to clasping our hands together and staring up in the fucking sky when the goddamn science is right under your goddamn feet. There is no morality in sexuality. There's nobody to pray to. Your kid's sexuality isn't in the sky. If we don't have the right to have sex with the opposite sex, we've gone and fucked up the math, y'all. We need to reduce the number of the species or increase the number of the species-specific energies and remove the antibiotics. Then your child will have the right to procreate and the genetics will evolve as such. Let me see how we're doing on time, huh? And the genetics are going to evolve. You've been told you were born with one set of genes. Mom plus dad plus your age, boom. You're just waiting to die. And that's not how genetics works. Genetics is fucking beautiful, and it's on the go, people. It's moving. It's moving in response to this mathematical equation. Right about now, like a funk soul brother, this shit is on the motherfucking move. It will respond. Y'all are eating the same shit and then doing the same shit, eating the same shit, same goddamn math, and then saying, where's the miracles at, God? Where's the goddamn miracles? I prayed harder. I gave more of my money to a shit church that's already got trillions of fucking dollars and paying itself trillions of fucking dollars, all money in, no money out. I gave more money. Where's my miracles? Well, you didn't touch one metric on the fucking board. It's the number of the species versus the number of energies for that species. Y'all, you can't, you gotta stop letting these people, you can't export your science to a business whose job is to, quite frankly, keep you dead. Dead people consume. The goal of your body, without the right to life, is to consume. When you go into these shit buildings that have what? 500 people? 1,000 people? 50,000 people? How many energies for those people? Cement isn't one of the energies. Donuts are not one of those energies. Bad coffee is not one of those energies. How many energies does that building have specific to your species? 0. And then what are they going to do after the church? Well, we're going to have a potluck. We're going to have a family-sized bag of fucking chips. Everybody's going to bring a family-sized bag. There's 20 bags of fucking chips. Big enough to feed everybody here. We got carbohydrates, we got pastas, we got everything but fucking species-specific energy. We got antibiotics out the ass in a dead-ass building. The goal of this church is to murder you. What do dead people do? They murder themselves by buying shit. Then they have problems, and then what do? Boom. They go to the goddamn box, they put the fucking money in, and they get this little shit off of their chest. Oh man. We need more money, we need more food, we don't have enough food. God in heaven, don't go home and put some seeds in the ground and have free food for the rest of your life. God in heaven, don't go home and clasp those goddamn hands, stand up and use those fucking legs to go and buy 2 baby chickens. So you got free meat and free eggs for the rest of your fucking life. For the rest of your life, unlimited organic meat and eggs. You'll have so many goddamn chickens in 6 months from 2 chickens. 1 and 1. 1 female, 1 male. You'll have so many goddamn chickens outside, you'll have to eat chickens or else you'll be swimming in chickens. That's how good God is. And these shit organizations have you starving to death while you got your hands clasped together, looking up at the fucking sky, begging for goddamn chickens. God is good. He just ain't in that goddamn church. God is good. He just ain't in that goddamn church, y'all. God is amazing. I'm an Appalachian. God's in the goddamn garden. God's in the soil. My ancestors, nature, and God are all in the goddamn soil, in the plants, in the animals. They're all... God is good. He provided all day long. Yesterday I cooked. We probably had 10 bell peppers. Well, the red ones were bell peppers. The green ones were the long ones. Well, we probably had 500 seeds. So we could have made 500 plants. All of those plants are going to yield 100 peppers. They're also going to yield 1,000 seeds. 1 bell pepper is more bell pepper than you could ever eat for the rest of your life and your kids' life and your grandkids' life. God is good, y'all. These shit businesses got your hands clasped together staring at the fucking sky. Don't export your science. These motherfuckers want money, nothing else. You're swinging on Elon Musk's nutsack, listening to the next Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs bullshit. You're a gay man. And that's why you're becoming infatuated with these pastors, with these whatever, money business gurus. You think, hey, I've got a wife. I got a wife that's shaped like a dude. At home, I can't be a gay man, okay? Why the fuck won't you shut the fuck up about goddamn Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bezos, or whoever else? that's fucking your world over permanently. Don't export your science, y'all. Get a couple Yardbirds. Start paying attention. Get a notepad. Start making hypotheses. Hey man, some weirdo with a fucking man bun said my daughter looks like a dude because we ain't got no species-specific energy, and she's eating goddamn antibiotics and shitting in a water treatment plant, killing off all the microorganisms that make estrogen, nitric oxide, all the beautiful chemicals that make up your daughter's sex are dead. Start checking it out for yourself, y'all. There's an amazing amount of information available. Unfortunately, these AI models are saying, hey, look, everything's okay. Everything's okay. When you say to an AI, hey, man, you're telling me, the market's telling me, the housing is going up 1% per year and that's normal, except I bought a house for $34,000 and 10 years later, it was selling for $1.5 million. That's not 1% per year. They're going to Wu-Tang you. They're going to tell you some math, some complicated math that says, hey, that's 1% per year over 10 years, just over 10 years. And you're going to walk away going, huh, I guess things are normal. That's not. You're being told two things. 100%, that $34,000 house that's now selling for $1.5 million 10 years later, that's not some exceptional number. That's a regular ass number. $34,600, now $1.5 million in a shit regular ass neighborhood. Run-of-the-mill neighborhood, not a nice neighborhood at all. A relatively poor neighborhood, mostly Hispanic working people, nurses, mechanics. 34 to 1.5 in 10 years. But if you say, hey AI, what happened there? It's going to say, well, that's about 1% a year. That's about the average. It's a Wu-Tang, y'all. It's a Wu-Tang. Don't trust that shit. That's a Wu-Tang. That ain't no 1% over 10 years. All day long. You're in a fishbowl. So you don't realize this information. Looking in from outside from the Dominican Republic, you're going, how the fuck are y'all buying this shit again? I hear him saying it. I hear the president, I don't watch it much, but I hear the president's bullshit when they ask him a question and he goes and spells out fucking words he made up for 20 minutes and then says, hey y'all, I gotta go. I'm watching it. I can't fucking believe one of you aren't standing up and saying, hey, this ain't gonna do right here. Y'all got 40 million of y'all are marching around taking little selfies. That's not what our Constitution is for, y'all. This ain't normal. Don't export your fucking science. I think we better change the name. I like that name better. Don't export your motherfucking science to these motherfuckers, y'all. They can't be trusted. Donald Trump bought billions of gallons of oil and then started a war that would make oil prices go up, and now he's hedging bets while he's starting and stopping these wars and gaining trillions of dollars. And when he's asked about it, he's saying, hey, beavers, they swim faster. They swim faster. Be careful, y'all. I gotta get out of here. I got too much goddamn work to do. Y'all are important to me. I'm gonna do this again real soon.